I don't think he's moving far, but I think he's moving some.
Out of the county or?
Yeah, out of where he couldn't.
Just.
Melissa knows all.
Yeah.
Should, it takes one round to know what's going on.
And what is ours? We've been around 40,000 rounds.
You're not gonna need to kick around forever.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
I turned 80 this year. That's a good line.
Yeah.
That's a weak excuse.
You'll use it.
Yeah.
Soon after my son.
Use it soon enough.
Good morning. And it is 9 a.m. and we are streaming. And I turn it over to the chair, Doug.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to the meeting, volunteering your time. Appreciate it. Could we get a roll call, please, for our Board of Directors and then Advisory Committee?
Director Vesey,
Present.
Director Johnson,
Present.
Director Clausen,
Mike Clausen here.
Director Dovenspike,
Present.
Director Baker, Director Mason Long, Director Nelson.
Here.
We do have a quorum of the Board of Directors. Advisory Committee, Morris, Merchant,
Here.
Babcock,
Here.
Ward, Thompson,
Here.
McIntyre. At this time, we are one person short of a quorum on the advisory committee.
Hopefully they'll be joining us at a given time. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Anyone have any changes to the agenda? Citizens comment on agenda items. I heard that there's a 541-661-2170 might have a comment. Please introduce yourself and go ahead if it's true. Hey, Lauren Morris is here. Hey, we got a quorum. Thank you, Lauren.
Mary, are you there?
Mary?
*61. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, am I too loud?
No. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
I'm Mary Rowe.
Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, I'm going to turn on the light. I'm sorry, I'm photosensitive, so I had it off. I'm Mary Rowe. I live in Coos Bay. I am in my 70s. I have ridden a couple of different public transits for over 20 years. I currently ride the CCAT style ride. It can be very difficult for many elders and people with disabilities to utilize various services, including public transit. One problem is that we have difficulty getting cash to pay the fare. For example, last week, I went to my bank to get $51 bills so that I can pay for several $3 fares for the dollar ride throughout the month. Because of my age and disability, this one task was almost all that I could do that day, a day of my life devoted to getting fare for a month. I am sharing this with you to help educate you. You created a new way for passengers to pay online. If it is finally working, then that will provide nice discounts for many of your passengers and save time for your staff. But not all of your passengers have access to this method, and accordingly, the discount that those able to receive is not accessible to those who are too old and or disabled to be able to utilize it. I cannot use a computer nor a smartphone due to disability. and there are others who also cannot use them due to various disabilities. For instance, I have a friend who is competent at riding a transit bus, but who cannot use a computer nor a smartphone because she is developmentally disabled. As an MSW, I have years of experience successfully advocating for ADA rights, and I can therefore assure you that one factor that is important is equitability, or whether those with disabilities are denied similar treatment when providing it is possible. Denying passengers with disabilities similar ease of payment and some sort of discount if they cannot use your new app is discriminatory. I urge you to bring back the Punch Pass to provide an alternative to dollar ride passengers who cannot use your app to having to acquire a massive amount of dollar bills or write checks for $3 each in order to pay fare, and to also give them some sort of discount. And that would also save the drivers and office staff time processing payments. I urge board members to initiate putting such a change on your agenda soon, and to also ride the CCAT buses to learn more by observation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. We will address your situation today. Okay, I'm gonna make a comment in regards to what Mary just said. I rode the bus last month. I got on the bus at the library, and before I got on the bus, we called the police on a gentleman who had no shirt on and was singing and saying inappropriate comments. So to me, that was a little scary for passengers getting on the bus. I wasn't scared, but it could have been a detriment. So I rode the bus. I asked the driver questions. I asked the passenger questions. And some of the comments I received was the bus driver would like to see improved communication between the driver and the supervisor on the site. Drivers are concerned about safety. One comment I got to say, the police were very helpful, because when I got back, that gentleman was no longer there. So that was excellent. And in regards to the punch card, I guarantee, I think that is the most necessary system. We have to have punch cards for a certain amount. I'm not saying there's a limit to punch cards, but to me, like the young lady just said, Mary said, we've got people that have no ability to use their phones. So we should have some punch cards available, and they should be able to get the same discount as the rest of the people, because it is not fair. They are being discriminated against, and we can't discriminate against our passengers. So we have to have some people availability for punch cards. Because some of the older can't use their phones. We might need a few more bus signs, because in some of the areas, you don't know there's a bus sign there to ride the bus. The driver just pulls over, but you can't, there's no sign there. How do you know? What do you think, you're Kreskin or something like that? And this one gentleman thought the buses were free because he's from another town, and he'd like to have passes. Well, of course, I paid for his bus ride, but that was fine. Another comment from one of the persons that they like to see the bus get to Charleston at 6:30, and that's making the day pretty long. So I couldn't really say. I said I'd listen to your comment. Maintenance is improving. The bus drivers have said that we definitely need a monthly pass of some sort, and they've had some change, and it's to the positive. So I really support the idea of punch cards or a monthly pass. Yeah, to say, and that's just my personal opinion. And we have a young man who wants to talk. Go ahead, David. Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm some days either. So I've been in the community listening to what some residents have said, and I'm going to bring up a point that was brought up at the last meeting, but I told him that I would bring it to everyone's attention again. There is some concern about rates being calculated specifically between Lakeside and Coos Bay. And I was looking at asking Siri what's the difference between this distance and going to Coquille, and they seem to be the same. So if I was to go to Coquille, I would pay $3, but if I'm going to Lakeside, I'm paying $6. So I told them that I'd bring that up because to me it doesn't make sense that someone can go to Florence for $6, but they also go to Lakeside for $6. And so I just wanted to bring that to the attention because I said I would.
I agree. I think we need to have a definite, some type of meeting where our higher ups would need to,
Lakeside's not in the county, right? I think so.
and it's still,
Yeah.
it's still in Coos
It
County.
switches at Winchester Bay.
Winchester, yeah. So I would love to see a meeting on fares and punch cards and stuff like that in the very near future.
We do have Carrie Muth who has her hand up.
Go ahead, Carrie.
Yes, thank you. I'm Carrie Muth and I do use dial-a-ride services. And I just want to say, Mary, great job with your sharing. And I totally agree with all of that. That's one of my big things is people being equitable and people having access who aren't able to use cell phones. The other thing I just wanted to just point out is when you did call on Mary, you gave her entire phone number verbally to a stream. So you might want to, you just might want to watch that. I know there's some privacy potential for that. So a lot of times with Zoom things, they'll just mask the phone number. So it's just the first three and the last three, I believe that's what it is. So you guys might want to change that setting in Zoom and be aware of that. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Carrie. Any other comments on agenda items at this time?
Doug, this is agenda item, but a comment to what you
Okay.
just said. Our blue line does start at 6:30. Charleston route.
Charleston Road does?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
latest route we have.
Good.
So what are you proposing, a meeting or a committee?
We just need to have a meeting to discuss the system, the punch cards and stuff like that. Because right now, to me, it's not working for a percentage of our riders. And we want our riders to be able to ride.
It sounds like you might be proposing a workshop.
That would be excellent, Jane. I'm for a workshop.
You have someone else.
We have a question by someone who ends last number is 8. Go ahead.
That's
I don't know who
probably
you are.
This is
Introduce
Peter
yourself,
Altschul.
please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Peter Altschul from Coos Bay. I want to support what's been said already about the punch cards. And I also want to talk about a little bit about, I do use the app, and I have to tell you that it's not, it's legally accessible, but not especially well usable. And there's been more than one time when the drivers, I use CCAT regularly, and I can't figure out how to make it work properly. And it's just another reason why we need to really think about the punch cards. Even for those of us who have the app, it's very squirrely to use under certain circumstances. I know it's been the manufacturer has been notified, and my experience with that is it might get resolved in 2 weeks or it might not get resolved for 10 years. So I don't think we can rely on the manufacturer to fix this problem. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you.
No,
You good?
yeah.
Any other individuals? Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented? And then we can talk about if you desire.
So move.
It's been moved in second. Any of the consent agenda you want to talk about? Ridership, financials, minutes?
I didn't catch who seconded the motion.
Shira.
Thank
Shara.
you.
Okay. All in favor of the consent agenda as presented, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Consent agenda passes. Thank you. Old business. Melissa, do you want to go into that again?
Thank you very much. This is the STIF plan for 25-27. We have been working on this plan since September of 2024. We have gone through various public meetings discussing priorities and services for the next biennium. And before you today is the plan that is to be submitted later this week. I would appreciate it if the advisory committee would start with their action item as to whether or not they authorize they recommend to the board of directors to authorize staff to submit the plan.
Lauren, is that you?
Yes, it is. Thank you. I need a motion from the advisory committee to, I need an advisory motion from the advisory committee to recommend to the board of directors to authorize the staff to transmit the STF plan for this next biennium.
So moved.
Second.
That was Michael first, and who was second?
Part one.
Thank you. Any discussion about that? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Now, board of directors, we just received from our advisory committee a motion to authorize the transit of the STIF plan. Could I get a motion from the floor?
I move to direct staff to transmit the STIF plan as presented.
Got a move? Do we have a second?
Second.
Got it. We got a move in a second. Any comment on the STIF plans that we've been working on for a while? All those in favor to move the staff transmit to the STIF plan as presented, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Thank you. And thank you for your work. Advisory committee, we appreciate it. Now we'll move on to new business. Personnel manual. Go ahead, Melissa.
Attached to your board packet is the updated Human Resources Policy and Procedures Manual. The last time we did a full update was January of 2020. So it was time for review and update. Staff made preliminary updates. We then transmitted it to HR Answers. That's through special districts. HR Answers is the agency who does human resource consults for special districts at a preferred pricing rate. They reviewed we used their template, and after we customized it, they gave us feedback and did track changes. So this manual is coming to you fully reviewed. And staff requests that you consider adoption.
Excellent. Can I get a motion on the floor to adopt the HR Policies and Procedures Manual?
I so move, Shira.
Sharon moved, and a second.
Second.
Mike second. Any question or comments in regards to the Human Resources Policy and Procedures Manual? Okay, all in favor to adopt, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Abstain? There we go. Manual. Okay, elections. Melissa, you want to talk about the elections?
Sure. At this time, I'll also share that we did receive on January 3rd notice from Fred Baker that due to their change in residency, it is necessary that he step down from the board of directors. Fred Baker is currently in position 3. Position 3 is one of the positions 1, 2, and 3 are up for election here in May. And those terms are January 1st of 2025 through June 30, 2029. Just as a reminder, those individuals who are interested in being considered for election for one of those 3 positions are to file with the Coos County Election Office between February 8 and March 20. There is a $10 filing fee, or you can collect 25 signatures in lieu of. And the candidate's manual is an active link in your agenda packet. Are there any?
And the candidate signatures have to be in your area. You can't just get people from the whole county, don't you? Or doesn't it have to be in Coos Bay? Or if I remember correctly?
I refer you to the candidate manual.
Okay. So I've gone
I
that
do
way because I'm
believe,
cheap.
again, refer to the candidate manual, but just so that I think that it's anybody in the transit district that you can have your signatures from. If some elections, it is that you are representing a specific geographical area, and then you would have to have signatures from that area. But for our purposes, we're representing the entire district.
That is accurate.
Good job, both of you. So we can get anywhere in the county. Excellent. I would encourage
They do have to be registered voters, and they do verify that.
Go for the signatures, then you get to meet people.
Get on a bus.
Get on a bus. Yeah. Anything else more about the elections? You good, Melissa?
I'm good.
I do have, real quick, Melissa, are you filling Mr. Baker's position before the election, or just
Is
leaving
up
that
to the
empty?
board. Keep in mind that if we do fill it, it would only be between, so if we post it now, we can receive applications by the next board meeting in February. And so then March, April, May, June, that would be 4 months that person could potentially serve.
It's a good trial period for someone, and then they could do the application or to get on the board as elected for anyone who might be interested out there.
I'd pay special attention to our advisory board if somebody would like to move over and be on our board.
That's an excellent way. That's how a lot of us started. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to put it back to the board. Is the board requesting that I legally post the opportunity?
Yes.
Okay.
I say yes. You post it, and hopefully a candidate will appear.
How about maybe a motion?
Yeah.
I move to post the position formally for the vacancy left by Fred Baker.
As a discussion matter, I'd like the idea of first opening it up to.
Let's get a vote in a second for Robert's rule of orders and then do the discussion.
Okay.
I second.
Hey, Mr. Clausen, do you have a comment?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Who the hell do you think they are?
Jimmy Roberts here, buddy.
So
You know,
Jane, correct me if I'm wrong, but we can't select only from the advisory committee without opening it up to anyone. Is that correct?
It sort of depends on what we have in our manual. I think that what it says primarily is just that the board appoints the person to step in. But generally there are other rules and regs that also affect it. And I'm guessing we've got something that says how we have to do it already. And that's what Melissa's talking about following. I'm not positive. I haven't looked. I could double check for you guys, but that's what I know.
To me, it seems like if we open it up to anyone, we then will already, I mean, let's just say that Harper applied. We already know Harper. We already know that Harper's been attending the meetings and is aware Harper's going to have a leg up over Sally Smith, who we don't know. So I don't know that we need to do anything special, just that we already have a relationship with the advisory committee members.
For sure. I think we gotta go by whatever the manual says is all I'm saying. If the
Right,
manual doesn't say we have to do it by posting, then we could revisit that, but I don't know.
When we replaced Rod, do you remember how we did that? Did we posted it?
Yeah.
Then we need to post it. Yeah, we got an opportunity. Yeah, so any other comments in regards to this? We got a motion to post the position.
What Mike was commenting on before you got interrupted.
Well, I don't think you got to a motion statement, so I think it's just discussion.
Yeah, we just by opening it, everyone in the board has an opportunity in Coos County. So if an advisory person applied and a non-advisory person applied, we would interview everyone as an equal. And then the person who was selected would be the best candidate. Logically.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion on a second to open up Mr. Baker's position. 3. All those in favor of posting the position, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Go ahead, Melissa. Post that position and we'll see what we get.
Sound like move that bus. Post that position.
Post that position and get them the ball and shoot. Okay, general manager report. Go ahead.
Thank you. First off, an update on Amalgamated Transit Union. Staff have filed for a secret ballot election, and that process will take place. Tally of the ballots will be done by the Employment Relations Board on February 14th. So we should hear either on the 14th or the following day what the outcome of that is. Secondly, audit. The audit is going to be presented at the February 2025 board meeting. It's currently going under quality review. Third, I just wanted to follow up on everyone on their required training. Did the board of directors members sign up for their public meeting law training? And how about, and I'll go through and we'll do a roll call real quick so I know where everyone is, please. VC, have you had your public meeting law training?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know. No.
Tara.
No, they fill up fast. I will say that. I tried to get into several that fit with my timeline. So plan to book ahead.
Austin.
I have not.
Delvin Spike.
Mine's scheduled for later this month.
And Nelson.
Mine's scheduled in February.
All righty, we'll follow up next meeting. let me know if anyone needs technical assistance in.
So
getting that
what does that mean specifically? What kind of training do I need?
public meeting law.
This is the law that was passed last time I came back from SDAO, and I gave you guys kind of a super fast rundown of all the things you're supposed to know to be a board member, just as kind of a like, well, maybe this will work for now, because it took them forever to come out with classes that were officially approved under the new law, etc., and so forth. Now those classes are out, and they want everybody to take their classes that are approved by the agency that's running all this. So you got to follow the link Melissa gives you and schedule through that.
I think it's on Zoom, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
it's on Zoom.
Okay, so I'll check with Melissa to figure out what I gotta do. Not a problem. Go ahead, Melissa.
At our last board meeting, the board indicated their interest in doing the special districts board assessment. I did do a follow-up email to SDAO, and I have not heard back from them. So next meeting, I will give you an update on that as well. We continue to prepare for our monitoring visit in March. I anticipate at our next meeting in February, we'll have several other documents for you to review and approve as we prepare for the monitoring visit. And that is all that I have at this time. David, did you have any outreach updates?
I guess the big thing is that I have been working with several of our senior facilities to get in there, and it looks like that next week I'll actually get into Avamere, be the first one to meet with their people that live there and explain what we do and what we offer and how they can use it. And Life Care Center is close behind, and hopefully we can get in all of them.
So most of those facilities have their own.
Most of them do, but they don't like using it.
Oh.
It's a lot cheaper for them to use us for $3 than it is to use their facility and have to hire a full-time employee and put gas and insurance and whatever. All of them have a van or a bus. They just don't use it very often.
Did you visit the new one out there on Kentucky or?
Oh, that one. Yeah, New Friends is a little different because it's fully dementia and Alzheimer's, and therefore that's not something where they want them out riding buses. They need to be inside and watch 24. They do have their own vehicle if they do want to go out.
Good. So, Melissa, is there a date that we could have a meeting to talk about our fairs and stuff like that down the road?
And by meeting, do you mean perhaps workshop?
Work study, workshop, workplace, whatever.
Just so you know why I'm being so persnickety about that. Workshop, it's still a public meeting in the sense that we give the public notice that we're having it so they can come in and talk, but no, we can't make a decision in it. So ideally you would get the workshop in before the next meeting so you can get really deep into the details and talk to whoever shows up and figure out what you want to do, and then make the decision by motion at your next formal meeting.
So you'd need 30 days notice? Is that the minimum, or is there a specific amount of notice we have to give them?
Well, yeah, I think it's 24 hours? Is that right, Melissa?
72 maybe for non-emergency.
Yeah, I would be about 72.
Yeah,
usually we would send it out. I mean, it would be posted much earlier because it has to get on people's schedule, right?
Let's say if I hypothetically selected January 14th or 20th, Martin Luther King Day, would that be a good day for a work opportunity?
Not for me.
I have a previous commitment that day.
Okay. I am out of town on the 27th.
So
So then,
I'm just gonna ask a question. Does the board want a workshop or does a board member want to meet with operational staff?
I
And
will meet with operational staff. That'd be great.
I
If
was
you guys
just
don't
gonna
mind.
say that I really think
Terry,
that,
do you want to be there too?
well, I can be, but it's really more just like, we just need a proposal. I think that brings back a punch card in whatever that needs to look like. And whatever discount would be appropriate, like, to me, I mean, I don't even know if it needs to be a board function as much as that we direct staff to give us that information and help us to understand the Lakeside versus Coquille cost variance. Like, is it because there's fewer people that go from Coos Bay, North Bend to Lakeside, and that's why the cost is more? Or like, we just need to understand what the rationale is. I don't know that we need to make it as formal and complicated as all of that. Just, we need.
I understand totally what you mean. So we could ask Melissa to figure out some stuff and then bring it back to the board. Wouldn't that be logical? Since she knows the ropes? Would that be all right, Melissa?
yes,
Excellent. Sam, you got the same thing, Terry? You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since they are the professionals and we are the amateurs, yes. Any other citizens' comments in regard to anything?
Jennifer put some notes about public meeting law information in the chat.
Oh, I can't see any chat.
It's okay. It's now not relevant, just good information for us to know in the future.
Excellent. Thanks, Jennifer. You're the best.
Always. I also put in a quick reference guide to public meeting laws link that I got at my class that I had to take last week because I'm on a budget committee.
Very cool.
Excuse me, you asked for if there were any more comments?
Sure. Introduce yourself, please.
So this is Mary Rowe again, and I just wanted to say, since it sounds like you're not going to have a workshop prior to voting on the punch pass, and that you're going to develop the way that the punch pass will work prior to the next meeting before it's voted on. I just would like to make one suggestion as someone who rides the dial ride. Possibly there should be 2 punch passes. Possibly there should be one specifically for dial ride because of the differing amounts. And I think it's important that I've ridden a different transit in a different county where the punch pass, I was told that the way that the one that you had before worked was that after you got all the holes punched, which you had paid for, then you held on to the punch pass and you could ride for free the last ride by simply giving the driver the punch pass. And I think that unless that's explained to new riders, they might not realize that even though all the holes are punched, the card itself can still be given to the driver for the free ride. And so I would therefore like to suggest, and as I said, I've seen this work well in another county, that there be an additional hole for the free ride, a place to punch the additional, place for the free ride, so that it's clearly understandable to new riders that they do have a free ride coming. Does that make sense?
That's a good comment. We also have a free ride day every month if you wear your button.
And this month is transit day.
Yeah, this
month, everyone's free whether they have a button or not.
Okay. So what's the date on that one? Approximately? Is it the last Thursday or
January 22nd, and it would be really grand if the board of directors would formally move for transit day to take place on January 22nd, a free fair day.
Okay,
So moved.
we got to move about January 22nd, a free fair day. So all people ride the bus for free.
I second.
We have a Shira second. We got a Tara move. We have any comments?
Can I make comments? Sorry.
You can, of course,
Okay.
make comments.
Does that include paratransit riders as well?
Put everyone.
Okay.
Everyone,
Sure.
all. We got a move in a second. Any more comments about free bus day, January 22nd, which is a Wednesday? All those in favor of free bus day, January 22nd, say aye.
I
Oppose? Abstain? There's a free day. Yes, ma'am.
I just kind of want to cycle back to punch cards or something, so I'm a little confused. So I'm thinking if you go online, you get a month pass for as many times as you want to ride. Is that correct? And you get a discount for that.
Correct.
So why wouldn't someone who doesn't go online get a month pass for as many times as they want to ride and get a discount? That it sounds like we're selling a punch card for only X amount of rides. So anyway, I'm still feeling there's a disparity situation.
So you're seeing people online are getting an advantage over the people not online?
If it's a punch card that has just X amount of rides only, that you're getting, then you're not getting the same price or discount. I just want to make sure we're equitable again.
You're limited to these punches.
Yes, and then saying, well, let's give them a free punch or this or that. I don't see how we're gonna need to do that. You buy a card that says, here's your month ride,
so
versus
that's
you're
why,
online for that. Pardon?
that's why Mary was saying that there might need to be two, because a person who rides frequently but not more than say 10 times in a month would buy the 10 punch card versus somebody, we used to offer a 10 punch card and a monthly pass.
Oh.
So we might.
We haven't had a
monthly pass in a while.
like
Years.
a long time,
Okay,
like
about this
a decade.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, the Indian works fine.
No, because there's a compliance.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Because how do you know what month it's for and all of those things? But I trust that Melissa will figure out how to make it equitable across the board and bring that proposal to us.
I am 100% confident Melissa will bring an excellent proposal to us.
Did we ever use a reloadable card like they use like Starbucks or something? But I know with other buses, they've had like reloadable cards.
We don't have the equipment to do that right now.
The other
Yeah, it
suggestion-
requires a validator on each bus.
Okay.
The other suggestion that was brought up to me, and I don't know how feasible it would be maybe not using cash, but tap and pay, where you could tap with your card.
So once again, we don't have the technology to put it on the buses.
Yeah, his punch card allows for 20 punches. It doesn't say how long, so I can keep this for 50 years.
Yeah.
As long as we
Yeah.
still have ones that are ancient that we accept, as long as they're valid and they're from us, we'll still take.
Yeah, when I first came, I used the last two punches, when I first came to the first meeting from a punch card I bought back in 2019.
Good. Any more questions about punch cards, et cetera, or anything? So our next board meeting is February 10th at 9. And Melissa's gonna bring us some information about punch cards again. Hey, thank you everyone for coming. Have a great day.